Hello, and welcome to Digital Tools for Early Learning by J2 Training, Janet Corder and Joan Gore. I'm Janet, and Joan will be with us in just a few minutes. We're going to share presenting slides here, and this is our contact information. We would love to have you join our PLN on Twitter, or to email us, or check out our website at j2training.org. So now Joan is going to take over and show you a few of our favorite tools.
Okay, this is a great tool for you to use with your students. It's called Write Reader. And students can create their own books, they can record, they can upload images. It can be on a tablet, a Chromebook, or a computer. And the nice thing about it is that the teachers will get to see these books as they update them. And then you can send an email with the book attached to the parents. So the first book we're going to look at is a book my granddaughter did about her dog, Harley. And you can see that's her book cover.
The Pup by Mackenzie. Harley and her best friend Roxy. Harley with my brother Randy.
Okay, and so that was very easy for her to create. She was actually using her iPad, and she wanted to use her own images from her camera roll. Now, Janet is in her class. You set up a class and you get a code, and that's the code that you'll share with your students. And when she opens her class, you'll see all these books on her bookshelf. And so these are all books created by her students. So all she has to do is to hit the plus sign over there, and now she is going to start a new book. So she puts in her title and who it's by. And then using let's add a background, a blue background. Okay, and now we just add an image. She could use her own images from her camera roll, or she could search. So she's searching for an image of Texas. And she finds one that she likes, and she brings it in. Now let's go, and we're going to have a new, she can record if she wants to talk about her title page by just clicking on the mic.
Today, we're going to learn about Texas. I hope you enjoy my book.
And so she has created a sound, and now she wants another page. So she just clicks on that page. And now she could put in her image and her text, or she could just record. And you see how easy at the top you can either print and download, or you can share the link and such. The other nice piece is that as she adds to the book, it will be seen on your bookshelf immediately. So this is a wonderful tool for your students to have a chance to be very creative. WriteReader.com. Now, Poetry Machine I learned about last spring when we first started doing virtual training. And it's an easy way to create an original poem. And so when you go to the website, there we go, and then you click on Poetry Machine, and you see all these formats for different types of poems. So there's one, let's look at All About Me. So first of all, you have directions. It tells you exactly what you're going to do on that line. Then you have an example. Next, your students are just going to fill in this information and put in what is asked for on these lines. And so she would go on through, and then when it's finished, you just create the poem. Now you have to, once you start, you have to finish to see the total creation. But look at all these choices you have, or your students have. So another good tool for your students to use in language arts. Bingo Baker. Bingo Baker is truly one of our favorites. It has a free version, but if you pay $14.95 for a lifetime, all your gains will be stored on your account. You don't have to keep up with the URL. So we go to a Bingo Baker that's already been created. This is elementary bingo for math, and you see what a bingo card would look like. It has words, it has images, it has numbers, and it's very easy to create. On their website, this is what you see. You see a bingo card, you give it a title. And for your young students, you can bring in images, you can change the size. So I might want to do a 4x4 or a 3x3. And then I can either add text, I can add images, whatever I want to put in these bingo spaces. You just have to know where your images are if you're bringing in those. And also you can search their website for cards that have already been done. So you see there's one for sight words, one for weather, and all. And in our account, you can see, oh my goodness, we have 140 bingos. There's no way I could keep up with all of those. And we have done them on every subject area, every grade level. I mean, Pete the cat, how much fun is that? And so this is why it was worth spending $14.95. Actually, we've been using it so long, we got it for $9.95. But it's well worth spending that amount. You can share it with your friends.
And each student will have a separate bingo card. They'll all be different, which is the nice thing.
Now, Vocaroo is another one. Again, it's been around for a long time. It's very easy for your students to record themselves reading. And you know, when students are first learning to read, how excited they are. And then that recording can be sent either email, or you can create a QR code, or you can download it so you can share it with their parents. And so Vocaroo is pretty plain Jane. This is all it is. You have that red button there in the middle. That's your record button.
So we're recording right now, and this is really, really simple. So when I stop,
and this nice thing is the students can listen to themselves read, and they probably will realize maybe they need to read with more expression, and they'll want to re-record. And they may want to do it several times, but it's a great way for them to hear themselves reading, and very easy to use. Here's the QR code that is created, and if you were to scan that, you would have heard Janet speaking. And here you can email that recording. So Vocaroo.com. Now, Storyline Online is a way for your students to hear fun books read by famous actors. And it also includes a supplemental curriculum that can be used with any of the books. So when you go to the website, storylineonline.net, you have all these choices. And these are books, as you can see, many different types of books and all. So if you just pick one, this is Trombone Shorty. And all you have to do, or the students can do, is just click on that.
Welcome to Storyline
Trying.
Online, brought to you by the SAG-AFTRA Foundation. I'm Angela Bassett, and today I'm reading Trombone Shorty, written by Troy Andrews and illustrated by Brian Collier. Where you at? Where you at? We have our own way of living down here in New Orleans.
One thing that I like is the closed captioning at the bottom also.
Right. And it's just fun to hear different people that they know or may not know read the stories. And then you see there's activity guides as well for each of the books. So that's Storyline Online.
All right, so I'm going to take over for a few slides now. And one of my favorite teacher tools is Classroom Screen. And if you've been using Classroom Screen the last few years, there's some new features that you will probably really like. Classroom Screen was developed by a teacher who got tired of having to always upload, open up different widgets for her students. So I'm going to take you to classroomscreen.com. And if you've used it in the past, it's going to look a little different. You can launch the original, the old classic one, but we're going to look at the new one. And one of the newest features is the ability to have a pro account. I think the free account is fine, but the pro account is something you may want to look at. I'm going to hope that it's going to open. And so some of the features that in the newer version that I like are the ability to save list. All right, so when you open it up, it has a background. Kids would love that one, but I can come here to background. These are my widgets across the bottom, and I can change that background. So there's all these different images here. I can also, I like the animated ones because if my kids are acting really hyper, I can put one of these on and they'll probably just be a little calmer. I can upload my own picture. So if we are reading Pete the Cat, I might want to put a picture of Pete the Cat or a picture of the book on there. Or if it's someone's birthday, I might want to put their picture on there. Now, typically what I do is I use a real simple background or I choose a solid color. And here are my widgets. So that widget was the background. Now, the QR code, if you have iPads or any kind of device where the kids can scan QR codes, this widget is awesome because you don't have to print anything out. It only works for websites. So if I want my kids to go to CNN.com, that QR code would take them there. And I can enlarge it by getting in the bottom right corner. So my kids can just probably stand up at their desk and hold up their iPad and be taken to whatever website I need them to go to. And for your little ones, typing in something like abc.com/math/376QR ? They'll never get it in. So this is a quick way to get your kids to a website. So I can close it off here. The draw gives me just drawing tools. And they'll pop up in a second, but I'll have different drawing tools. I don't use that one as much as I use the text box. And I like to use the text box at the beginning of class when I'm out in the hallway and I'm monitoring kids, welcoming them to my class. I can say, get out your library book and begin reading. Now, because it's text, I can make it larger or smaller, and I can change the font, different things that I want to do. So that's the text box. And my drawing tool just didn't really want to take effect over there. So here's my timer, and this is really good when you need to time activities. And so I can change to however long I want to time them. And then I have different sounds that I can play at the end of that timing. Here's my calendar. Let me get started. Okay. Here is a stopwatch, which is really good for activities that you're doing, maybe in PE or exercise time that you can just want to time your kids there. And then I have a random name generator. Now, I don't usually, I didn't like this one before because if I typed in my list and then I closed out Classroom Screen, I lost my list and I had to copy and paste it or retype it in. But now with the account, the free account, you can have up to 3 lists. And that way your kids are always in there. And it just randomly selects a name. This is one of the favorites for elementary. Got the stoplight. This is the newer tool that I love for math. So I have 1 die, or 2, or 3. So that really helps reinforce your math skills. And this one is your work symbols. I want silence, or I need for you to whisper, or you can ask a neighbor, or you can work together in a group. So these are my widgets. Now for your little widgets, I mean your little students, this may be a lot to have on one screen. So with the new account, and you can see that I'm logged in, so to get to your account, it's under the 3 bars. I come under to account, and I can set some different things here. I can go to personalize, choose my language. Here are my 3 lists of names that I can have. But here are my active widgets. Now I have the clock disabled, so I put it back up there. So let's say I'm not going to use the draw it, and I'm not going to use this one, and I'm not going to use this one, and I'm not going to use this one. Then when I go back to my classroom screen, I don't have as many widgets on my screen, so I can control what is seen. So that's classroomscreen.com. It is free. There is a pro version, but I don't think that you'll need it, but that's up to you. And so the next website is Kittl, and this has been around for a long time. Joan and I really like oldies but goodies, but this is one of our favorites as far as using in the classroom with our students, because when they go to Google to search, sometimes it's overwhelming for our little ones, because they'll type in dragons and they'll get all kinds of hits, things that aren't really accurate information. It may be some kid's website that says, I dressed up for a dragon at Halloween and here's my picture. What we like about Kittl is that the content, when they search, the content is things they could use for a report. It's accurate and it's child appropriate information. So we're going to look at Kittl, and it is kittl.co, not .com. It is not part of Google, even though it's got the Google colors here. So I'm going to type in dinosaurs, which is a hot topic with kids. And one of the things you see is, first of all, you have this gray box. I just tell my kids, go past the gray box. These are the ads. This is how they keep it free. So go past the gray box and look at all of these entries. So this is what the kids would see, and it's so much cleaner and easier to read than a Google search. Every entry has an image at the beginning. Now for the teacher, you also, and for kids, you have a Kpedia. But as the teacher, this is these are encyclopedia entries. You're going to have to explain to your kids what an encyclopedia is. So all of these entries come from encyclopedias. If I'm looking for images, look at all of these pictures, and they're just awesome pictures. And there's pages of them. Those are just regular pictures, but if I come to K Images, these are copyright free. These I can freely use under the common license there. And so I have all of these images. So images are just images out on the internet. K Images are copyright free ones. Now, news, you're thinking, oh, there's no news recently on dinosaurs. Well, yes, there is. On March 17th, they discovered a new dinosaur. So these are news articles, and you can see they're relatively current. And I love this. I love this feature for the teachers. If you need a video, these are videos that are accurate information that are kid appropriate. And so if you need to show a video, you have lots of options here. So these are one way that we always recommend that our kids search. We also even show it to older students just to show them how it will filter down and get more accurate information. If I have computers in the back of the room, I would set my home page as Kittle so that my kids automatically went there. So that is kittle.co. Now, Wheel of Names is a random name generator or a random name picker, and there are hundreds out on the internet. There's free ones, there's paid ones. This is a free one. It is my favorite one because one reason, you create an account and it saves all your list. But the main reason is because I can put in images. And so for my little ones, that is really, really important. And so let's look at what it looks like. wheelofnames.com. And you can see I have my names here, so I can add some new names. And my wheel just gets bigger and bigger. And I can have a lot of names on here. I can also put an image in. And right here is where I put the image in. But I have to have it saved on my computer. So I'm just going to pick an image that I have here. And it goes in here. Now, I don't like the ads and all this to show up when I'm doing this with students. So I come up here to full screen. Okay, and that way I'm only looking at that. So why would I have images? Well, I might have a picture of a ball. Woo-hoo, Chelsea, it picked her name. Let's see what happens. We have a winner, and I can remove her name. I might have a picture of a ball and a dog and a cat, and they have to tell me what that picture is and what letter it starts with. So Wheel of Names, let me show you some other things I can customize. So what sound do I want when it's spinning? What do I want to happen after? See, I love the confetti. What colors do I want? And I can put an image in the middle of my spinner. And so Wheel of Names is awesome, but when I come up to my account on open, so I have one that's just 50 names that we use, the numbers 1 to 50 that we use when we're presenting. This one is for older students, but I want you to see what happens. You can have a lot of text on here. And when it picks an option, write at least 4 predictions about what you think will happen later in the story or after the end. So you could say, draw a picture of the main character or tell who the main character is. It can be as simple or as difficult as you want. So that is wheelofnames.com. And the next one is GeoBoard. I'm a big advocate for our little ones learning eye-hand coordination and working on those early math skills. And GeoBoards are awesome. One reason that we love this one is because it'll work on Chromebooks, it'll work on desktops, laptops, and there is an app, a free app. So we like it because it is accessible on any device. And so we're going to go look at it online. And when you look at it online, it is just like the old GeoBoards, but you probably wouldn't want to give your kids rubber bands to shoot at each other. So I can take my rubber bands here and I pick a different color and I click over here and I can get a rubber band and I can go across. Whoops. I think I'm on a different deal here. So I have, I'm not sure what it's on, but it has a lot of options down at the bottom. So this is my GeoBoard with rubber bands. And you can see I can have a lot of dots. I can have a circular one. I can do all kinds of stuff here at the bottom. And I can add text and different colors and things like that. And then I can share my GeoBoard. So on the next slide, one of the things I like to do with GeoBoards is to put them in a center. And either with, maybe if I only have 1 or 2 iPads, this is a great activity for a center. And if you'll just Google GeoBoard task cards, you're going to find a ton of them from all abilities, as simple as do a triangle to some of these, like the rocket, that the kids have to duplicate. And so you're going to find them on teachers' websites, on Teachers Pay Teachers. Some are free, some are paid, or you can create your own task cards. But it makes a great center activity, especially when you only have 1 or 2 iPads to work with. Novel Effect is an app, and it is one of our favorite apps to use. You only need it on either the teacher phone or the teacher iPad or an iPad, because what it does is it plays sound effects as you're reading a book. And so we're going to try it here. I have the book Giraffes Can't Dance, and I have my iPad. And so when I'm reading, it's going to play sound effects that go with the book. Now, what I like about it is, let's say I have to stop because little Susie's over there pinching her neighbor. It's going to stop the sound effects. Or if I need to skip 3 pages, it's going to jump to where I am with my reading, which we don't know how it works, but it's magic. The kids will think you're magic. So I'm going to go ahead and play. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching shoots off trees. I'm going to skip a few pages. The warthogs started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango. The chimps all did a cha-cha-cha with a very Latin feel. And 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. We'll stop that. So all you need is an iPad or a phone. You don't need this for every student. So let's look at the website. The website is really helpful because it does have a list of all the books that are available. They were on Shark Tank, and Mark Cuban bought into it. It is a free app, and if they're going to have a premium coming soon, they have some videos that are new. They have a website with resources for educators, and they have a whole thing on remote learning. You can look at all the books here, but it is a great tool to use with your kiddos when you're trying to read. And every well-known book is there. My favorites are Giraffes Can't Dance, Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak, and Ferdinand the Bull, because he snorts and he just sounds really cute there. So you'll find which ones are your favorite or which ones your kids like. And they're all, now a lot of them available in Spanish. Now, Storybots is a learning program that's designed for children ages 3 through 8. And it has a ton of web and mobile apps, content, educational books, videos, games, and classroom activities. So we're going to take a look at storybots.com. And you can see up here, we're on the home page, but there are TV shows that you can look at, and you can watch them on Netflix. There are videos that are available. And so what they've done is they've pulled these videos from YouTube. So it's going to save you time searching because they're already in one place. And there's more than 1 billion minutes on these that have been watched on these. Then you have music. Sometimes in class, it's very difficult to find appropriate music. And so you can use this. And then also there are books that you can use. And the little creatures are very cute. It tells you all the information. So Storybots is a great resource for you. It's one of those that I would share with my parents who are looking for tools, and especially during this pandemic when we may need to send resources that are not paper, but these are things they can use online. So that is storybots.com. And so the last couple of things, I'm going to turn it back over to Joan.
So ESGI is a great platform for you to use when you need to do assessments and those one-on-ones. And they have preloaded tests. They have, when you have your assessments, you also get materials that you can use in those areas. And so you have data and reports, and we're excited that they are offering this virtual conference this year. This is the first time and all, and we have enjoyed presenting for them before. And so you have a promo code here. And if you type that in, that means if you're signing up, you will get a discount. So you want to remember this, TeachCon J2 training and all. So you see they are also dealing with the pandemic and how to use this remotely. And so you can try it out before you actually are involved, but they divide it up by pre-K kindergarten. You've got first and second graders. You've got the struggling readers. You've got ELL and special ed. So a great resource for you. So get a free trial if you're not already using this. Now we want to show you also that for our resources for this, you can go to smore.com/7EVE1. And this is where we have all our materials plus some that we didn't present to you today. And this More stays up all the time. All we do is really add to it. And it gives you instructions, it gives you links, and you'll see a lot of what we were doing today. So it gives you a little refresher course. So hopefully you will find all of this helpful to you. I know you've gotten your feet wet by now. And so this is a good time to find some new things to use with your students. So this is smore.com/7EVE1, Tech Tools for Early Learners. Thank you so much for being with us today, and have a great year.